Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Happy New Year. You're watching this video because you're at home right now and you're safe and you're sound and you're probably a little tipsy, but that's okay. Making your New Year's resolutions that you're likely going to quit by February. Am I right? But you're at home and you're watching, and I figured I'm going to put a video together just for you guys so that you're the first to know, among the first to know anyway, because I watched a video from Trade Travel Chill this afternoon, and I've been doing some of my own extra research on the video. There's going to be a link in the description below. I want you to watch the video if you want a more in-depth explanation as to what's to be expected. But it's daggone good. And I absolutely love Trade Travel Chill. Yes, I've been all about her lately. I've been watching her videos. I'm just so glad and so proud that she's doing daily content now for my benefit and ultimately yours, because that's where I got the idea for this video. And it set me on a little bit of an adventure that I'm going to share with you, because I was looking at some numbers beyond what she presents in her video. And but I'm going to get right to it, because I want you guys to be the first to know what to expect. Basically right now. By the time you're watching this video, a lot of the stuff will have already played out, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be accurate about it. But here we go. So we're going to take a look first off at some charts, and we're going to go into Trading View, and we're going to look at Bitcoin's price action on a monthly candle. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is where we're at currently. Okay, we're basically bobbing underneath this here, and we've got several hours to go. It's currently only 9:30. I don't think this is going to happen, but ultimately the gist of it is, if you were to go all the way back to the beginning of Bitcoin, and you were to take a Fibonacci retracement tool and run that tool from the peak of a bull cycle, all right, you take it from the peak and run it all the way to the bottom, you'll then see where the Fibonacci retracement puts the 50% mark at, okay? Once that mark has been lined up, you could basically draw a line and take it all the way over. And when you want to understand basically when the price is going to be moving up only, for the most part, on a monthly wick to wick, candle to candle, you basically wait until you get a full body candle close above this 50% Fibonacci retracement line. From that point after, the price basically only moves up until we get to the next peak of the cycle. Now, I back-checked this. This is accurate. This is real. And I started thinking to myself, okay, let's do the rest of them. So we did the rest of them. Peak of the market, 50% line. I drew it over. Bang, there it is. It's right here. From there, we just continued pumping in a parabolic run, an absolute parabolic run. And so I did it again. Oh no, I just moved my Fibonacci. That's the one thing that bothers me sometimes about the tool. All right, so we bring it back down. There it is. All right, so I ran it from the peak. This is the November 21 peak, 50% line, moved it over. Oh, wait a minute. That's where we're at right now. So we have this monthly candle that is ultimately going to close, I believe, below this line. I do not think we're going to get it right now. I think what's going to happen is we are going to move into the January market, or the January candle, and then that January candle is going to launch us into the new parabolic run for a period of time, of which I'm going to get into in just a moment. Because I do believe we're going to get these ETFs. I think everybody's locked and loaded, and ultimately the month of January that we're heading into in just 2.5 hours, which likely for you, you're watching this video as the clock ticks over. So you're going to see, we're not going to close above this. I do not see us getting that right now. But I do believe in the month of January, which is where this lines up. I set this marker here. January is going to be the month we get the full body candle close above the 50% Fibonacci retracement from the peak of the last market. And lo and behold, then we have January, February, March, April's halving. From the halving, we'll probably get a little bit of a dip somewhere in the market, which is typically par for the course. And then away we go to closing out the year. Now, you'll notice I have the closure to this cycle here. And this is something that Annie doesn't really get into much in her video, but it's something that I generally like to do. I like to take, and I started thinking to myself, okay, so if we were to take the market from bottom to peak, what do those numbers look like? And then for the first time I looked at this and I say, okay, so what does the price percentage of growth and time frame look like from this point in time where I've got these circles where we get the full body candle close on a monthly above the 50% line of the Fibonacci, and we go to the peak. I didn't count the first peak in this because that wasn't the end of it. If you guys remember, I've done videos in the past because everybody was asking me, how did you predict the market peak in 2021, and how did you know it was going to be a 2-peak cycle? Well, I will show you that in just a moment. I've done videos on it in the past, but for those of you that are new here, I want to show you what I was using and what I did, because nobody was calling a 2-market peak. Nobody. I'm pretty sure I was the only one. If I was wrong, prove me wrong in the comments. I want links. Now, moving forward here, what we see is we see the peak of the market, and we can see it was 396 days from this period here, from this close. Well, guess what? It's the same thing back here. 395 days approximately, 396 from this point to the peak, and it just keeps going. And so I thought to myself, and the only market that was kind of different, obviously, was the very first one. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, so we're looking at 397 days roughly until the proposed peak from this point here that is going to establish itself in January 2024, and we're going to have just over a year of bull run activity moving forward, and will likely peak out sometime in February of 2025. Now, I've been calling for a 2025 peak now for years, and I think everything is pointing to that. Now, the question here is, do we actually have a peak? Do we have a fake out peak in 2025 where, because of what happened in the 2021 market, where we had a 2-peak system, we had the first and then the higher was second than the last, and that market was broken up? Well, why did that happen? Well, I believe that that's because, well, first of all, I had discovered that the line item or the line chart matched the NASDAQ pretty much exactly, but it wasn't this NASDAQ, it was this one in 2006, 2000 to 2008, 2007. So we had this period here, and this lined up almost identically to the 2021 peak. And if you run a bars pattern on this and overlap it in the Bitcoin 2021 market, this lines up almost identically. And I knew that as the institutions are bringing their money in, they're also bringing in their trading, their Wyckoff, all of the ways that the institutions trade the market. And so I thought to myself, okay, it's pretty obvious that there's similarities here, but what else is happening? Well, now with this Bitcoin ETF, what I believe we're going to be looking at is a significant change in the way the cryptocurrency market works. Why? Because no longer is the halving going to be as big of a deal, because the institutions are going to be gobbling up all of the Bitcoin anyway. So it's going to be much more difficult to get your hands on Bitcoin post ETFs. These are spot ETFs. These are not futures ETFs. And so I believe, like I've said in the past, many, many times over the last couple of years, maybe the last 3 years, I think that there's a very high likelihood that this is the last quote unquote bull market peak that we see in crypto. And if you are not in the space now generating generational wealth, you may very well likely be reduced to having to trade only altcoins in the future, and likely new altcoins. Because what's going to happen is, if this happens and the markets play out the way I expect them to into 2025, we might get a fake out peak that basically provides some liquidity, exit liquidity for a lot of these institutions, that if they decide they want to play the market that way, and then they're going to buy back in. Because while people are selling at the peak, these institutions, they're not. They're going to want to buy up the people that are expecting the peak of this market and accumulate more off of the backs of those who are willing to sell at those prices. And what's going to happen once that liquidity dries up and those people are gone and out of lunch? That is when I believe we might see a continuation for the next decade. And I think that ultimately, I think the 2025 into the 2030 market is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen to date. And that, I truly believe, you can take to the bank. I think we're seeing a lot of significant change right now, folks. And I think really now is the time to get in and stop horsing around. If you're not into crypto, at the very least, I would highly encourage you to do so, because when Bitcoin rises, a lot of that profitability is going to go into the altcoin market. Now, the Bitcoin spot ETFs are going to be a little bit different. The spot ETFs, in my opinion, are what are going to be, that's what's going to drive the market forward and up. And it's not going to be the Bitcoin spot ETF assets that are going to drive the prices. It's going to be those who have been holding Bitcoin for years, exiting at those extremely higher prices that the ETFs are going to bring. That Bitcoin is going to exit. The people are going to exit their Bitcoin positions, put it into the hands of the institutions, accumulating more, ultimately and effectively controlling the market cycles from then on. And then that money is ultimately going to go into the altcoin market. Okay. I think we're going to see a dramatic transition from those who are holding Bitcoin and those who are not. And believe me, I believe that the institutions, the government, the regulators, everybody out there that are all kind of working together in cahoots with each other, they don't want us controlling the bulk of the Bitcoin in the market. Okay. I believe that's one of the reasons why it's the only cryptocurrency so far to date that has been declassified as a security, let alone, anything else. And I really do believe that this is going to be the last point in time where people are able to accumulate Bitcoin and hold on to it. I believe that there's going to come a day when one Bitcoin is likely going to be considered generational wealth in the not so distant future. And so that I want to thank Trade Travel Chill. Annie, I know we're going to be doing something together soon. We've been swapping some messages. Make sure you send her a follow. She's only got 27,000, but you know what? She's only got 27,000 on YouTube because she's just started doing regular daily content. She's been really big and does a phenomenal job on TikTok. But you know what? I like her on YouTube personally. So make sure you drop a follow for her, subscribe to her channel, hit that notification bell because everything that woman says is gold, I'm telling you. And I hope you guys have had a safe new year. I hope that me doing this video for you guys opens your eyes a little bit to what else is very likely to come. And I hope that the season treats you well. Let's bring on 2024 with a newfound resolution for generating generational wealth for us and our families to come. And until next time, guys and gals, I bid you adieu. Crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.